Hey, welcome back, everybody. Okay, Father's Day. It is coming in hot this weekend. So that's exactly why we have brought in our favorite event planner, Trevor Frankfort. Trevor, you're going to give us great gift ideas and also great virtual hangout ideas with Dad. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you. It's so good to be here again and always a pleasure to see you.
Well, it's always a pleasure to see you because your ideas are super fun and always unique. So we're excited to hear about the ones you've got for Father's Day. Now, first up is something involving a family portrait.
So I got creative and I called Jason from Wilkins Art and Creative Inc. to draw us all as caricatures. So what happened was we all got together on Zoom, the eight of us, and watched each other get drawn by Jason. And the results were just
Oh,
so cool.
I'm sorry,
oh
this
my
is lovely.
gosh.
It's so awesome because he actually is able to grab our essence and really turn us into fun cartoon-like versions of ourselves. How awesome is that?
Oh,
Oh, so
Trevor, bravo.
cool.
And because he did such an amazing job, I wanted to surprise you with a special social family portrait. Check this out.
Oh my God. You look
Oh
so
my
good. Oh my gosh, Trevor! Oh my God. Okay, well, we're clearly starting off with a bang, Trevor. The next one is going to appeal to the taste buds because you next suggest a virtual gelato tasting with Dad, with the family, and we are going to bring in a guest to help guide us through this next experience. So, from Death in Venice, it is Kaya. Welcome to the social, Kaya.
Okay, thank you for having me. What a pleasure. So today we're going to do a virtual gelato tasting, and we're going to start with our olive oil and sea salt gelato. The reason why we're
Mm.
starting with this gelato is because it's almost half savory, half sweet. So this gelato kind of can swing both ways. When you taste the
Oh
gelato,
my
you'll find
God.
that you can actually taste a bit of
Oh,
floral notes, a bit of the sweetness from the olive oil itself. And
unbelievable. This is
Kaya, this
spectacular.
I've never had gelato like this. This is blowing my mind.
oh, thank you so
It's
much.
it's
And
stunning.
and the olive oil comes from Italy, and it's a combination of two olive varieties, which is why it's so floral.
Great start.
So we can switch to our second gelato, which is coconut pandan. This is a dairy-free gelato. It's vegan, so technically it's a sorbetto in Italian.
Mm.
It's made with the coconut milk
Oh.
that we directly import from Thailand, so it has a different kind of viscosity,
Oh,
and it's not too sweet. And if you're wondering what pandan is, I didn't know pandan before I actually made this gelato. It's basically a grass that grows in Southeast Asia. It's used in Thai cuisine, Indonesian cuisine, Malaysian cuisine, and it doesn't taste like much until you cook it, and it becomes so fragrant. And I think the
Mm.
tasting notes are almost nutty. I get a bit of hazelnut in the mouth, a bit of kind of citrus note, but it's not too sweet, which I like.
Kaya, you were so right. It actually has a different mouth feel. But believe me, that's a feel I want in my mouth.
That's good.
just the fact that this is a dairy-free gelato is spectacular because you don't feel like you are missing a thing. It is rich and it is
Yeah.
creamy and it is flavorful.
The third one is the big boy, so we're gonna get a lot of flavor from this one. It's the Mexican spice gelato.
Oh,
So this gelato has about
Mm.
27 ingredients, six different
huh?
chilies: ancho, chipotle, guajillo, Mexican cinnamon, nutmeg, clove, achote. So the list goes on. It takes about 3 days to make this gelato. The more you eat it, the more it kind of opens up to you. So I love the complexity of this gelato.
The problem is that it's so delicious, you want to eat it really quickly, but you actually do need the time to slow down.
I love that I can feel the spice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Well, Kaya, what a great way to celebrate Father's Day and pretty much anything if you ask us. Thank you so, so much for bringing us these gelatos. They were
Well,
spectacular.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a great day. Ciao, ciao.
Everyone, don't worry. We've got our gelato safely secured in our freezers and just in time for another one of your fantastic tasting ideas, Trevor. But this one's just for the adults. We're going to be doing a whiskey tasting with Claire from Corby Spirit and Wine. Welcome to the show, Claire. We are so happy to have you.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to be here. If you want to grab your first glass, which is our 100% Canadian rye, we're going to be tasting. So I don't know if you are whiskey drinkers or into spirits. It's it's strong. So we'll say cheers or slanjava. One thing I always do is I nose my whiskey. You have a lot of senses in your nose that can help along that journey and pick up those nuances. Something that a lot of people might do that's a little easier to nose whiskey is if you actually just open up your mouth a little, it helps with those kind of more intense notes. So if you just inhale through your nose with your mouth open, you'll notice it kind of,
Wow.
just wet your lips with it. Just touch it to your lips. So what do you think of this one?
I'm still stuck on that recommendation. Just let it wet your lips. It's perfect. Like, what a great
It's all you need.
sort of indication.
Yeah.
I'm going to wet my lips again.
This is very strong alcohol for someone like me, but I find this actually pretty smooth. It's not overwhelming me at all. It's beautiful and aromatic. And I think that could be intimidating for someone who wouldn't touch this normally, but this is actually, this first drink, really beautiful and smooth.
I usually take quite a gulp, and when I drink it this way, it actually, I don't feel it burn down my throat.
Okay, what's next?
So next we're going to try our bourbon. So bourbon is made from at least 51% corn. This one sits up around 80%. That means a very different, so our first grain was rye, this is corn. So going to be a very different base whiskey. And also with that, bourbon is aged in American oak, which has some of those vanilla sweet notes to it.
Very different, but very smooth. Yeah.
Oh, Mama, like this.
You like this one?
one's warm.
Yeah, so what do you prefer?
This one's bringing the
Yeah.
heat. You know, this one's
I'm
bringing the
preferring,
heat to my chest.
I'm preferring this one to the first one. I loved the first one, but I think the bourbon for me, there's a little bit of correct me if I'm wrong, maybe a caramel undernote.
Absolutely. Those barrels are charred really thickly. So within that charring process, those caramel notes can come through. So let's move on to our last one. This one's very different. So this one is a single malt Scotch. So
I
being
can smell
Scotch,
it
it's
from
made from
way
100.
over here, Claire. Like, it's far
Very
and
different.
it's like, bonk. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's 100% malted barley. So again, completely different grain and very different process than the first two.
Woo!
It lets you know it's there. That's
Oh,
for sure.
wow.
My lips feel tingly.
Same.
Oh,
you like yours?
Oh.
You like that one?
This is transcendent. Like, I think I'm beginning to understand who I am
Wow.
now. Claire, this has been an absolute delight, and this is something I immediately want to do with my dad. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so glad you enjoyed the whiskeys, and have a great day, guys. Thank you.
Listen, this segment just gets better and better. And Trevor, I know that recently you did something really cool with your dad. It was a bagel and pretzel making workshop. Tell us about that.
When I heard that La Dolce, one of my favorite bakeries in Toronto, had all these different workshops and classes that you could do virtually, I jumped on this. I chose the pretzel and bagel workshop to do with him because he loves bagels. And we were paired up with Chef Yumi, who was just so knowledgeable and fun to do this with. My dad, unfortunately, his dough turned out to be liquid. Look at this. But Chef Yumi knew exactly what to do to fix this, and his bagels and pretzels turned out remarkably. Look how good they look.
Oh,
And
my
the best part,
gosh.
though, I loved that Chef Yumi had all sorts of bagel jokes. Do you want to hear one?
Yes,
yes.
please.
What kind of a bagel can fly?
I don't know.
A plain bagel. So bad.
Oh, Trevor, that looked so beautiful. And I also understand that you did some woodworking with your dad as well.
Yeah, we did a vintage wood sign making workshop with Paint Cabin, where they send you a kit with everything that you need, and then Anita from Paint Cabin runs you through the whole process. She shows you how to distress the wood, how to stain the wood, and she teaches you all these different tricks so that you can dry the stain a lot faster, so we're not just sitting around waiting. Add a stencil to it, paint it over, remove the stencil, and we had these awesome signs that we could use at home or even at the cottage.
Oh, so fun and beautiful, profesh.
wish.
And still kind of along the lines of DIY, you actually have some great DIY ideas for us to try. I can't wait to see this.
But first, I had these beautiful custom-made boxes created from exquisite things, and I had them say Happy Father's Day, but you can have them say whatever you want when you order them. And then what's inside is all the DIY items. So first I made these flavored salts. I have a lime and curry, a smoked paprika and rosemary fresh from my garden, and a lemon and pepper. Literally just mix it all together, put them in these cute little shakers, and you've got this delicious treat that goes on any kind of meat or fish.
Oh,
And then the last
yeah.
thing that I made for him was a custom apron. So what I did was I bought some plain white aprons, some iron transfer paper, and then I printed off the portrait that I had made and made him his own little apron with all of our faces on it.
Oh, that's so
And I had,
awesome.
isn't it so cute? And I had so much fun doing this that I made one for each of you as well, not with my family, but one specifically, Jess, for you, for your dad, and Mel for your husband.
This is awesome. Caution, hot stuff. Because he always says to me when he's barbecuing, hot stuff coming through.
I love this so much. This is my dad because he's like a real nihilist, and one of his favorite writers is this guy named E.M. Choran. But my dad also has a really great sense of humor. So the fact that life has no meaning is a reason to live. Moreover, the only one. Let's eat.
Love that.
Bravo.
He's going to love this.
Very cool. Very cool. Trevor, you always up the ante when you're here. And honestly, I want to try every single one of these, and I know our viewers will as well. All right, so everybody watching, if you want any of these ideas, you want information on them, go to our social media sites after the show and check it out. Happy Father's Day. We'll be right back.